Hey folks, Jessica here. We're in Granblue Fancy today, and today we are talking light advantage Uniting Fight, one-turn kill setups, specifically 0 skill, 0 summon, one-turn kill setups. I would call it 0 button OTKs, but when I did that on my Earth video on a similar topic, some smartass in the comments was like, oh, obviously, you're hitting some buttons in order to make this happen. What is this 0 button bullshit? I'm like, well, congratulations, Rando. You've won an argument on the internet by being pedantic and tactical. Very proud of you, very proud of you. But yes, we're talking 0 button OTKs. And when people say 0 button, what they mean is 0 skills, 0 summons used. Now, this is quite hard to do. Typically, a setup folks will use for this is with Relic Buster using Engage Augments and then Limit Burst, which will give everyone full charge bar, and then you'll just attack and everyone will Ogi, so 4 Ogis, and that is not too hard to one-turn kill a boss on. Now, for an endgame player, I should say, that's not too hard. If you're still newer or even mid-game and you can't quite do that without using any skills beyond the enabling skills, don't worry about it. It will take some time. Just keep working on your grid, keep working on your team, get earrings, get rings, get EMPs, get all that stuff. You'll eventually get there. Get plus marks on things. It takes quite a while to get to that point where it's not that big a deal. But once you are pretty endgame, not that hard to do. Now, the other setup some folks will use is they'll use a Huanglong Summon. This is a little bit harder still because the Vanish Relic Burst, the Relic Buster setup is you can use a proper main summon and then a proper friend summon. So in the case of Primal, it'll be a Zeus and a Zeus. If you're using Huanglong, Huanglong's aura is only 50% elemental attack plus some charge attack damage. It's not nearly as good as using proper summons. But if you're strong enough, you can use one Huanglong summon because the call on Huanglong is to fill all of those charge bars. So you can just call Huanglong and then attack and then you're good. But it requires you to be a little bit stronger. Now, if you are Earth, and specifically Earth, you can use this setup with Summer Illnot, and Summer Illnot is one of the best limited characters they've released in quite some time because a lot of things, but for this particular conversation, because he has this effect, and if you want to see this highlighted, I did a 0 button OTK video on Earth Uniting Fight a while back. But when Illnot is mean ally at battle start, 40% boost to Earth allies charge bars. So you start with 30% because of the crew bonus, and then Summer Prank gives you 40%, so that's 70%. Then with another Huanglong Summon, that's another 30%, that's 100%. An Earth team will start with fully everyone 100% charge bar if that's set up with an Illnot. And yeah, that's super powerful. Every element needs an Illnot. The Summer Illnot, that's not going to happen. I would like to see them do this for at least a couple more elements, but that's not going to happen. So there's a way to do this, though, if you don't have Summer Illnot for other elements, which is what this video is going to be about. So how do you start with everyone at 100% charge bar on any element but Earth, or if you don't have a Summer Illnot? Well, the answer is you don't. You have to be able to do the OTK with 3 characters, and one of them has to be an Eternal. So the way that works is you need specifically this Wonder here. This, I believe, you get from recruiting all 10 Eternals. I don't think they have to be 5-star. I'm almost positive they don't have to be 5-star. But this thing will let an Eternal start with plus 10% charge bar. So normally you would start with 30% from your crew bonus, and then you would get another 30% if you're running Huanglong, and another 30% from your friend's Huanglong, which is 90%, plus 10% from that Wonder, 100%. So this is important to know. Jita's only going to be at 90%, so she's not going to charge attack. But Toyin will start at 100%. And then when she charge attacks, she'll give Vera another 10%. That's going to be enough for Vera to charge check. It's going to give Narmaya 10%, enough for Narmaya charge check. And that's how you get to an OTK without using any buttons and without effects similar to Summer Illnot. So note that you're going to try and kill the boss, an EX plus boss, with only 3 charge attacks. So you got to be hyper optimal in your damage. And that's what we'll talk about now. So I think we start off talking about the characters. You need 1 Eternal for the setup. Could be fun also, but Toyin has a counter, which can be enough to get you there if you're right on the edge of being enough damage. Now, Granblue, I just did a video on Granblue's 5-star uncap. Again, my favorite character, so of course we're using her. But she works great in the setup. She will charge attack, and then she will also Blade of Light automatically after charge attack, for right around a total of like 6.8 million or so, which is actually quite good. I see a lot of people using Summer Shiva instead, and Summer Shiva will charge attack for about 6.6 mil is what I was seeing in other people's videos. So, you know, anything in that neighborhood, like you'd use other characters, but you need to be able to get in that neighborhood. I guess this isn't Summer Narmaya, this is Yukata Narmaya. So Yukata Narmaya's thing is, she will charge attack for not actually that much damage. And maybe I'll do a character spotlight on her. But she'll charge attack for like around 4 mil. But the thing is, she's got Iridescent Bloom. It's an 8-hit nuke that will auto-activate if she has 8 Reverie. Now, she will start on 4 Reverie, and then when everyone charge attacks, she'll gain 1 Reverie, and then when she charge attacks, she'll gain 2 Reverie, and this setup is enough for her to get to 8. So on the end of turn, she will also use Iridescent Bloom, but also, because you're getting the boss so low, the boss is going to use a special attack, which will trigger Tranquil Crescent, which is her counter, basically, which happens whenever the boss uses a special attack, and that's another 8-hit nuke. So her slightly less damage charge attack combined with these 2 auto nukes is going to be enough for her to basically get you there as well. And then in the back row, we're running Nobita. Now, Nobita is from an event, free character. You likely already have them if you've been playing lately. I don't actually know if you can get him outside of that event. Now that that event is passed, folks have to let me know if there's still a way to get him after that event, because he's a weird collab character, so I don't know like how available he's going to be. So yeah, hopefully you already have him. But the reason you want to use him, usually I use Light Silva in this, because Light Silva has a sub-ability called Bullet Burst, and when you get a chain burst of 4 characters, she will shoot for a bunch of damage, which super helps. However, again, like I said, Jita will not charge attack, so you're only getting a chain burst of 3. So, in that case, you want to use Nobita, because Nobita's skill, Fastest Draw in the Skies, will activate on any number of charge attacks and chain bursts, and you're only getting 3. It's less damage than Light Silva's, but hers won't activate in this situation. Bullet Burst won't activate in this situation. So, if you need extra damage, this is fairly important. Zahal Molina is in the back row, because she is. I don't know if she actually helps. I guess she does help a little bit, because she's up against light ally crit damage, but she's not that big a deal. Let's talk about grid. I'm running Cavalier on Jita because I want to use Huanglong Spear, because it gives you bonus charge attack damage cap. I believe it's 10%. In addition to that, let's see, we are using Seraphic Harp, because again, bonus damage versus Dark, which again, damage over the cap, basically. 2 Edens because they're Edens, big damage plus medium stamina. These 2 are Harakates. Harakate is Horus's katana. I actually spent the last day farming this, so yeah. Fully capped out these Horus katanas. These things give you supplemental light allies charge attack damage. It is 400k added to charge attack. The cap is 1 million. I'm running 2 of them, so that gets 800,000. And then bonus light allies charge attack damage cap. These are fairly important. running Rungo Miniad because it gives it's an unworldly EX boost, which, unworldly EX boost, I'll take it. But also bonus light ally skill damage, which is pretty important because both Vera and Narmaya are going to be doing skill damage in this setup. This is Gunzoe's weapon, Ruler of Fate. Ruler of Fate gives you bonus charge attack damage cap, noticing a trend. Certificus is Grand Vera's weapon. Grand Vera's weapon gives you massive light damage plus charge attack damage cap. And then on the Dark Opus weapon, we are running the chain that gives us bonus charge attack damage / you take damage when you charge attack. This is the primal version. I'm making the Magna version right now. I might move this chain over to that one, because this one, I want to switch this back to stamina for general usage. Oh, and the chain I'm using is Chain of Forbiddance, I believe. That's the charge attack damage one. Chain of Forbiddance works pretty well. I've seen people use Chain of Temptation instead. Chain of Temptation is the one that gives you a shit ton of buffs. You will likely need one or the other of those. The issue with this one is, again, it can put you, if you don't have enough health, it can put you in kind of a dangerous spot. So you'll have to figure out which one works better for you. So the summons are particularly important here because you really want to optimize for turn 1 damage. So we're not using a Crest summon because we won't have time to build Crest, obviously. Like Hades is here just as a stat stick because Hades has a lot of attack. Same thing with Beelzebub. The Star summon, our card summon, is pretty important because it's extra damage cap. Fully uncapped Metatron is important because, again, extra damage cap. Belial in the back row. Belial is important because, again, extra damage. And then consistency part. Artemis is here for extra HP. I was finding out, because her sub-aura is, Artemis sub-aura is 25% extra light allies HP. Because I was finding without this, Narmaya would occasionally just get killed by the boss's special attack, but with this, it's enough that she's pretty safe. Yeah, because remember, you're not using regular main summons like a normal aura or a Magna aura. And remember, those auras give you quite a lot of HP, but you have nothing multiplying the HP from things like your Dark Opus weapon without a Zeus or Luminara. Because, again, Luminara will buff your weapon skills, but you don't get that here. So your HP is going to be pretty low, because your main aura is 2 Huanglongs, and Huanglong does not give you a lot of stats or damage, so you do need to optimize here. And then before we get into it, further optimizations, let's just look at the EMPs. Twain doesn't really have any relevant EMPs here, at least from the POV of consistency. She is set to attack, all 3 characters are set to attack Awakening type, by the way, for extra charge attack damage. And she is fully Awakening 8 for, again, maximum charge attack damage. She is using a charge attack damage ring. It's a pretty hefty amount of charge attack damage. Charge attack damage cap might be better, but this is working so far. She's got a counter on damage earring, and then she's got a perpetuity ring, all the bonuses that entails. Let's see here. Grand Vera, same thing, essentially. She's going to be Awakening 8, attack type as well. Her EMPs matter a little bit more. Skill damage cap, obviously. Charge attack damage, skill damage. All this is super important for that consistency. She's running a skill damage cap ring, which is probably fine. I don't actually know if charge attack damage cap or skill damage cap would be better here. She does do skill damage, though. So more damage on that blazing light. Counters on damage earring, and then perpetuity ring. And then Narmaya. Yukata Narmaya, I just got her. I probably will do a character. I might do a character spotlight on her at some point. So she's not fully maxed out, but the things that do matter on her are 2 charge attack damage caps, fully maxed out, and then I need to max out these 2 charge attack damages. But again, we'll get there eventually. This is fine as is. Her Awakening type is attack, again, fully maxed out, Awakening level 8. Her ring is skill damage cap. Again, she does 2 skill damage nukes, so this is pretty helpful. She's got Enmity. Again, she'll be hurt, so pretty helpful. And the perpetuity ring. So yeah, hyper optimized. Now let's just get into the OTK, because I'm sure you're curious what that looks like. Okay, EX Plus. We got 2 all along, so we're ready to go. We just gotta hit attack. So, Astral Hauser from Twin. 4.8 mil. Alien Judgment from Vera. There's 5.8 mil, and there's 1.8 mil. There's Narmaya. 4.5 mil. Chain Burst. There's the shot from Nobita. And then Dark Strike. And then we will clean up with counters, and then Narmaya's auto nukes. There you go. That's a 0 button 3 character OTK. Now repeat 5,000 times, and that's your 9 fights. And if you wonder why this kind of optimization matters, it's because you get really consistent. You get your farming basically down to this. You just come in, you hit attack, and you hit refresh, and there's EX Plus, and do it again and 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 again. That's your 9 fight. It makes it so much faster and just low thought. Essentially, you can just head empty, farm thousands of meat if you want. So there you go. 0 skill, 0 summon, 1 turn kills. I'm just going to call it 0 button OTK. You don't like that? Well, deal with it, I guess. You'll let me know in the comments, I'm sure, and I will be happy to ignore you if you have complaints about that nomenclature. That's what the community calls it. But yeah, is this level optimization important to get to? No, not really. Like, it's such a narrow margin to be able to get here. It's quite difficult to get to this. That said, it is faster than anything else you could possibly do, but having to hit, like, engage augments and then limiter burst on Relic Buster, it's not that much slower. It's just, if you can get fully this level and just do head empty, like, attack, refresh, reload the fight, attack, refresh, reload the fight, yeah, it is quite a lot easier to just zone out and grind out a couple thousand meat. But that said, that's not for everyone. So you can't get here, don't worry about it. For me, I find, like, getting to this level of optimization a fun puzzle, because, like, what if I change this one weapon? What if I get a different ring? What if I get a different earring? What if I put a different summon in? It's that level of optimization, chasing that super tiny gain to be able to get there, and then just building towards consistency, being able to do, like, getting to the point where you can do about crits. It's tough to get there. So I find that interesting. It's like solving a puzzle, right? And you've got only so many, like, levers you can pull to try and get the puzzle to that optimal state. That's fun for me. It's not for everybody. But yeah, I'm just putting this up because I figured some people would be interested in this particular setup. If you are trying to get to 0 button OTKs on light, let me know what's going in the comments. We can chat about different strategies. I think you can certainly switch out a few of these characters and still probably get there. But yeah, this is it for this video. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!